So in the next example you can see that कि जब भी हमारा वाटर फ्लो कर रहा है नीचे की तरफ, तो ड्यूरिंग दिस फ्लो what happens, one more thing is happening, that whenever it is strike to the ground, that energy is get released out of it. तो कुछ एनर्जी भी बाहर आती है जिस एनर्जी का हम यूटिलाइजेशन इसमें करते हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन में. तो यहाँ पर क्या हुआ, स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन एक्सोथर्मिक हो गया. एक्सोथर्मिक हो गया, दैट मीन्स यहाँ पे हमें एनर्जी मिल रही है. So this is what the spontaneity is. So whatever the reaction which is spontaneous, first condition is that it is get occur without your own control, and second thing, it may always be a exergonic reaction. That means energy is get released during that spontaneous reaction. Okay. Now here you see, हमने बताया कि जो हाइड्रोलिसिस रिएक्शंस हैं वो strongly favorable reactions हैं. That means these reactions are spontaneous reaction. Isomerization reactions have smaller free energy change. Isomerization reaction के free energy smaller होते हैं. That means isomerization between enantiomers में जो delta G change है that is equivalent to 0. Isomerization reaction, that means कि isomerization reaction वो reaction है जिसमें कि आपका इक्विलिब्रियम अटेन हो जाता है, वो कंपोनेंट आपस में एक इक्विलिब्रियम स्टेट पे आ जाते हैं और वहां पे कोई भी एनर्जी एक्सचेंज नहीं होता है. कंप्लीट ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ रिड्यूस्ड कंपाउंड इज स्ट्रांगली फेवरेबल. जितने भी कंप्लीट ऑक्सीडेशन है रिड्यूस्ड कंपाउंड के, वो सारे के सारे स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन है. दिस इज हाउ कीमोट्रॉप्स ऑब्टेन मोस्ट ऑफ देयर एनर्जी. और यही एक रीजन है कि जिसकी वजह से हमारे जितने भी कीमोट्रॉप्स हैं, जितने भी कीमोट्रॉप्स मींस दोज एनिमल्स व्हिच आर रिक्वायर केमिकल कंपोनेंट फॉर गेटिंग द एनर्जी, दैट इज नोन एज कीमोट्रॉप्स. तो हम कीमोट्रॉप्स में हैं क्योंकि हम भी क्या करते हैं, हम केमिकल कंपोनेंट को यूटिलाइज करते हैं इन द फॉर्म ऑफ फूड. तो जो हम स्टार्च ले रहे हैं, जो हम प्रोटीन ले रहे हैं, जो हम लिपिड ले रहे हैं, these all are the chemical component, and these chemical component are the main source of energy, and in which the reduced compounds are available. And whenever these reduced compounds comes in our body, it is completely oxidized, and now then they are able to release the energy. And this is what this slogan says, that chemotrophs obtain most of their energy with the complete oxidation of the reduced compound. So the oxidation of a reduced fuel with oxygen is stepwise and controlled. लेकिन हमारे सिस्टम में इनका ऑक्सीडेशन जो हमारे फ्यूल्स हैं वो ऑक्सीजन के प्रेजेंस में एक एक स्टेप करके होता है और पूरे कंट्रोल्ड मैनर में होता है. Recall that being thermodynamically favorable is not the same as being the kinetically rapid. Okay, so that is what the thermodynamic law are regulate both of these two processes. That means oxidation of reduced fuel and the release of energy. Okay, now we come to see the some chemical reactivity. कुछ chemical reactivity का हम examples देखते हैं किस तरह के chemical reactivity होते हैं. पहली component है जिसमें हम cleavage and formation of CC bond. हम एक कंपोनेंट जो हम तोड़ते हैं और जिसका फॉर्मेशन करते हैं वो है हमारे कार्बन कार्बन बॉन्ड. ओके, सेकेंड है क्लीवेज एंड फॉर्मेशन ऑफ पोलर बॉन्ड्स. जितने भी हमारे पोलर बॉन्ड का फॉर्मेशन या पोलर बॉन्ड का ब्रेकडाउन, ये हमारा दूसरे केमिकल रिएक्टिविटी है जिसमें हम पोलर बॉन्ड्स के ब्रेकेज और क्लीवेज में न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन करते हैं और एडिशन एंड एलिमिनेशन मैकेनिज्म. सो बोथ ऑफ दीज टू मैकेनिज्म इज गेट इन्वॉल्व इन द cleavage and formation of polar bond. First is nucleophilic substitution and second is addition and elimination mechanism. और इसका सबसे अच्छा एग्जांपल है एडिशन और एलिमिनेशन रिएक्शंस का हाइड्रोलिसिस एंड कंडेंसेशन रिएक्शन. तीसरा हमारा है इंटरनल रीअरेंजमेंट. किसी भी तरह का रीअरेंजमेंट जो हमारे सिस्टम में हो रहा है, दैट इज अनदर केमिकल रिएक्टिविटी. देन वी हैव अ एलिमिनेशन रिएक्शन जिसमें हम कोई ब्रेकडाउन न करते हुए भी कुछ कंपोनेंट को रिलीज कर रहे हैं. दैट इज नोन एज द एलिमिनेशन रिएक्शन. देन वी हैव अ ग्रुप ट्रांसफर रिएक्शन, प्रोटॉन का ट्रांसफर, मिथाइल ग्रुप का ट्रांसफर, या phosphate group का transfer, that is another reaction. And the last is the oxidation reduction reactions, जिसमें हम electrons का transfer करते हैं. So these all are the chemical reactions which is carried out in your system. Carbon carbon bond का breakdown or formation, polar bond का breakdown or formation, internal rearrangements, elimination reactions, group transfer reactions, and oxidation reduction reactions. Now एक टॉपिक जो आपके सिलेबस में अवेलेबल है, this slide covers the basically that topic. If you see that your syllabus, then you find out there's one topic is there, high energy phosphate bonds. तो अगर हाई एनर्जी फॉस्फेट बॉन्ड की अगर हम बात करें तो हाई एनर्जी फॉस्फेट बॉन्ड्स में we have to discuss about what are the different type of bonds which are actually involved in the high energy phosphate bond. उसमें हमारे पास एग्जांपल है ATP, GTP, creatinine phosphate, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate and 3-phosphoglycerate and phosphoenol pyruvate. So these all are the high energy phosphate bonds are there, and they may be involved in the some energy binding and the release. Both of these two processes carried out by this high energy phosphate bond. So in that term, we discuss about the first component of this high energy phosphate bond, that is ATP. Now, ATP is frequently the donor of phosphate in the biosynthesis of phosphate esters. So ATP is what? ATP is a donor of phosphate molecules, and it may be involved in the biosynthesis of phosphate esters. So this is ATP in which adenine is get binded with the ribose sugar, and now these are the phosphate groups which are binded to the ATP, because these are 3 phosphate molecules are get binded. So that's why 1, 2, 3 it is termed as adenine triphosphate. Okay, so adenosine triphosphate is the name of this ATP, full name of this ATP, and these phosphate groups are get binded there. So whenever the glucose is come in the contact with the ATP, so this lone pair of electron have the tendency to get bind with the this phosphate group, and now they may able to shifting in the bond into this phosphate molecule, and the phosphate molecule is get released, or you can be say that it may be cut down from this side and get binded to the glucose residue, and through which that glucose 6-phosphate is get formed. Now that is what it is known in the phosphoryl transfer, and this ATP is a high source of energy. So whenever the breakdown of this ATP is get occur into the ADP, then it may be able to release the energy. And if you see the reaction, then you find out in this process approx 30 kilojoule per mole of energy is released out, in which a good amount of energy is get utilized in the binding of phosphate molecule with the glucose molecule. So the rest energy which is get released after the binding of this, it is -4 kilojoule per mole. That means 30 में से हमारा 26 किलोजूल पर मोल ऑफ एनर्जी क्या हुआ, वो करीब करीब इस ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल को फॉस्फेट के साथ बाइंड कराने में यूटिलाइज हो गई. बाकी बचे 4 किलोजूल पर मोल एनर्जी इज द साइन दैट दिस रिएक्शन इज बिकम अ spontaneous reaction. Okay, and hydrolysis of ATP is a highly favorable under standard condition. You can see that is very favorable. Favorable means a spontaneous reaction. So किसी भी standard condition में किसी भी reaction को अगर हमें spontaneous reaction में convert करना है, so ATP hydrolysis अपने आप में it is a very good process. Okay, now here you see that the phosphate group is a highly resonating structure. Now question comes, why the only phosphate molecules are able to bind the energy? So answer of this reaction is that question is that this, because of the high resonating structure of this phosphate molecule, it make the that energy to be get binded in that manner, in the huge amount. Okay, to better charge separation in product, it is one reaction. Better solvation of product, more favorable resonance stabilization of products. So these all are the reason because of which the phosphate molecules are termed to be a highly energy stabilizing और energy binding component are. phosphate के अलावा ऐसा कोई भी हमारे पास molecule नहीं है, हमारे पास कोई भी ऐसा element नहीं है जो कि एनर्जी को बाइंड कर सकता है. इसके पास बेटर चार्ज सेपरेशन है प्रोडक्ट में, इसके पास बेटर सॉल्वेशन है प्रोडक्ट का, और इसके पास रेजोनेंस स्टेबलाइजेशन है. एंड दिस मेक्स द phosphate molecule a unique component, and so that they may be very important for the binding of energy. Okay, so you can see that when the water molecule is come in contact with this ATP, now the lone pair is able to change the bonding property of this phosphate molecule, and so the phosphate molecule is get break from this side, and now this inorganic phosphate is get released out. So whenever this inorganic phosphate is get released out, it may get converted into a stabilization, and that is because of this property of the phosphate, the pentameric property of this phosphate, it is get resonance stabilized, and now this ADP molecules are get formed, which is get further ionized, and then they may be get converted into a ADP 2 minus to ADP 3 minus, and this way you can see that whenever the ATP is get breakdown, it may able to release the delta G up to minus 30 kilojoule per mole of energy. So that is another example in which you see that magnesium is very important for the ATP hydrolysis to be carried out. That reaction shows the importance of the magnesium ion. As I told you, we have several other phosphorylated compounds are. Now it is the example of phosphoenol pyruvate. How this phosphoenol pyruvate may able to generate the huge amount of energy. You can see phosphoenol pyruvate is whenever get hydrolyzed, then it converted into a pyruvate, and that this inorganic phosphate molecule is get formed, and now in this process overall that 61.9 kilojoule per mole of energy is get released out. Okay, so electrostatic repulsion within the reactant molecule is relieved. So before, in this slide you have to see that hydrolysis is responsible for the release of energy. Here in this slide you can see that this is a hydrolysis, but here the hydrolysis is carried out in the electrostatic repulsion within the reactant molecule. The product are stabilized via resonance or by more favorable solution, and the product undergoes further tautomerization. Okay, so if you have any question regarding the topics, any doubt जो आज हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं?
नो सर.
नो सर. ओके, अभी क्लियर हो रहा है कि अभी हम लोग क्या डिस्कस कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज अभी आज हमने डिस्कस किया दो चीजें, हमने आज डिस्कस की. पहली चीज स्पॉन्टेनिटी की, स्पॉन्टेनिटी क्यों जरूरी है. दूसरी चीज हमने आज डिस्कस किया कि हमें हमारे पास हमारे सिलेबस पे एक और टॉपिक है जिसमें हम फॉस्फेट कंपाउंड्स के बारे में डिस्कस करना है कि हमारे पास कौन कौन से हाई एनर्जी फॉस्फेट कंपाउंड्स हैं. हाई एनर्जी फॉस्फेट कंपाउंड में सबसे पहला कंपोनेंट हमारे पास है एटीपी, विच इज अ हाई एनर्जी कंपाउंड. तो हमने भी हाई एनर्जी कंपोनेंट में देखा हमने पहला एटीपी का कि एटीपी, हाउ द एटीपी इज एबल टू release the energy in the with the help of hydrolysis process and how much energy is get released out. दूसरा हमने एग्जांपल देखा पीईपी का, फॉस्फोइनॉल पाइरुवेट का, Phosphenol pyruvate is another high energy component, and the hydrolysis of the PEP, although releases the energy, it is up to 61.9 kilojoule per mole of energy. Okay, so in this manner, and यहाँ पर जो हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है वो भी रेजोनेंस स्टेबलाइज हो रहा है, इसके ऊपर का प्रोडक्ट वो भी हमारा रेजोनेंस स्टेबलाइज हो रहा है. ओके, so this catabolism is carried out by the pyruvate kinase, and this reaction is followed by spontaneous tautomerization of the product. Tautomerization not possible in PP, and thus the product of hydrolysis is stabilized relative to the reactant. Okay. Now these are some oxidation reduction reaction. Some reduced organic compounds serve as fuel from which the electrons can be stripped out during the oxidation. Alkane से निकलता है, alcohol से निकलता है, aldehyde, carbons and carbon dioxide. These are the some carbonic compounds which are serve as a fuel in the case of oxidation reduction reaction. Now that is another very important component in the terms of bioenergetics, that is NAD and NADP. They are commonly termed as a pyridine nucleotides. They can dissociate from the enzyme after the reaction. An atypical biological oxidation reaction, hydrate form of alcohol is transferred to NAD, giving NADH. So NAD or NADP, both of these two are known as electron carriers, and the type of the electron carriers are, these are the pyridine nucleotides. So basically these are the pyridine nucleotides, and they are act as an electron carrier, and then they can dissociate from the enzyme after the reaction. Or these are the cofactor. And what is the definition of the cofactors are? Cofactors are basically those molecules which can dissociate from the enzyme after the reaction. जब reaction complete हो जाता है तो ये अपने enzyme से separate हो जाते हैं. That's why it is known as the cofactors. So NAD and NADP are the basically the electron carrier. They are the pyridine nucleotides, and they are cofactors. And whenever they can be binded with the electrons के साथ ये directly bind नहीं कर सकते, but after the binding with the electron, they are binded with the hydride form. So whenever they are binded with the electron, they also be coupled with the one hydride form and convert into NADH. So NAD is converted into NADH, and NADP is converted into NADPH. Okay, so here you can see the example of this NAD plus. So you can see that is the NAD plus, and it is converted into a NADH. So NAD plus is the oxidized form, and it is converted into a NADH into a reduced form. Okay, by accepting the electron. So here you can see that the two molecule of electron is came and binded with the two proton molecules, and now it is get converted into a NADPH. So this is what it is a very important component, NAD or NADP. Both of these two are the electron carrier and play a very important role in the electron transport chain process. Similarly, there is one more component which is play equivalent to this role, that is FMN, or that is known as flavin cofactor. And this flavin cofactor permits the use of molecular oxygen as an ultimate electron acceptor. So this is the one of the very important that cofactor which is responsible for the molecular oxygen is to make the molecular oxygen as an ultimate electron acceptor, and it is only because of the flavin dependent oxidizers. And these cofactors are tightly bonded to proteins. So they are the in comparison to the NAD, these flavin cofactors are tightly bonded to the protein molecules. So that's all about this overall bioenergetics chapter. In summary, what we discuss here in this overall topic, we discussed that rules of thermodynamics and organic chemistry still apply to living system. Second thing, reactions are favorable. Favorable means spontaneous, when the free energy of product is much lower than the free energy of reactant. Okay. Biochemical phosphoryl transfer reaction are favorable. जितने भी phosphoryl group transfer reaction है वो favorable होते हैं, spontaneous होते हैं. और कब होते हैं spontaneous? When the phosphate donor are destabilized by electrostatic repulsion. जब उनका किसी भी तरह का phosphate donor electrostatic repulsion से destabilize होता है, या reaction product are often stabilized by resonance, या फिर उनका reaction product इस रेजोनेंस से स्टेबलाइज होता है. सो पहली चीज है कि अगर फॉस्फेट ग्रुप हमारा उनका इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक रिसल्पल्सन से डिस्टेबलाइज होगा तो भी आपका फॉस्फेट ट्रांसफर होगा, या फिर उसका रेजोनेंस स्टेबलाइज होगा तो भी आपका फॉस्फेट ग्रुप का ट्रांसफर होगा. दूसरा है अनफेवरेबल रिएक्शन कैन मेड पॉसिबल बाय केमिकली कपलिंग. सो कोई भी अगर अनफेवरेबल रिएक्शन है, दैट मींस कोई भी नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन है, तो उसको भी हम रिएक्शन को स्पॉन्टेनियस कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ कपलिंग द हाईली फेवरेबल रिएक्शन टू द अनफेवरेबल रिएक्शन. हम इसके थ्रू किसी भी अनफेवरेबल रिएक्शन को कपलिंग प्रोसेस के थ्रू किसी भी अनफेवरेबल रिएक्शन को फेवरेबल रिएक्शन में कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं, कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. सॉरी. And the last is what we have read about, that is oxidation reduction reaction, and what it can involve. So all the oxidation reduction reaction commonly involve transfer of electron from the reduced organic compound to specialized redox cofactors, or this reduced cofactor can be used in biosynthesis or maybe serve as source of energy for ATP synthesis. Okay, so that's all about the this overall bioenergetics chapter. Okay, in the next class we discuss about the few new things, like we discuss about some more yes, some more topic, like we discuss about the high energy phosphate compound, one summary of that high energy phosphate compound, and how they can be what are different type of energies get released in that process. And then after we reaches to a last topic, that is some neurotransmitter and nervous system role. Then we have to see that some heat dissipation and so on. Okay, so that's all for the today. If you have any query regarding the class, so just ask me the question. Yeah, anybody have any doubt? No. Okay, that's all. So all of these videos and their related topics are very soon attached to the Google Classroom to you all. So if you have any queries, just go through the video, see the video, and if any queries there, just you can ask in a class. Okay, goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.